Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome back to my channel. I'm always so happy to find you here. I do upload on Thursdays. So when you subscribe, you will get an alert notification when you have your notification settings on. So turn them on as to when I have uploaded new content for your view. And of course, my pleasure. And it is my pleasure. I am typically not responding to anything in the news. My platform is not about that. I'm really pushing for positivity, good interactions with people, long-lasting relationships, working well together, and kindness. But today, yeah. So our 129 just for this year alone, a shooting here in America. And I'm gripped with devastation. I'm sure anyone in America is right now, and even abroad that has heard this news. So this morning, shockingly enough, it was a woman. Now, see, this throws me off. It throws all of us off because by natural instinct, men are loving too. All genders are loving. We're made of love. We're made of love. But it's extremely highly abnormal for a woman to be a mass shooter, let alone when children are involved, because our natural instinct is to be nurturing, caring, protective, motherly. So here we have today a woman who's 28 years old. So she's in the height, well, I shouldn't say height, but she is in the height of her own childbearing years. Okay. She goes to a Christian school. So right there you go, no, Christian school. Um, and the name of the school, by the way, is Covenant Christian School. So covenant, the meaning of covenant is a sacred agreement. It's a vow. It's supposed to be an unbinding vow, but we give vows at our at wedding ceremony and they get broken. So whatever. I think I'm just in a place of shock because this woman goes into this Christian school called Covenant in Nashville today and kills 6 people, 3 children, and 3 adults, one of which is a substitute. And so she was filling in for someone else. So now you can just imagine the person she's filling in for today is probably having survivor's guilt in that, what if I had been there? That could have been me. Oh my God, that person die for me? That kind of thing. It's too much. 129 as of today. We're not even out of March yet. It's too much. And we want to call on mental health. And while mental health is a legitimate, real issue for some people, a lot of this ain't mental health. How did she get 3 guns, one a semi-automatic? So a semi-automatic, you got intention to go into this school and kill these 3 children and 3 adults and traumatize. So the school holds, it's a private Christian school. It holds 200. It can enroll 200, anywhere from 9. I think I read it was from 3 to 12 years old. A private school wants to be at full capacity because that's how that's their revenue sources. They're not like public school that's getting tax money. That's their revenue sources. So at any given point, I don't know if they were at full capacity, but there could have been 200 children there. And it's so many adults. I don't know the staffing, but adults, ratio for the adults. It's senseless. It's heartless. It's disturbing. It's unfathomable. Now, when these things happen, and they happen far too much, as we do know, the talk of gun control comes back. It's the few times that the Republicans and the Democrats can at least agree that the subject needs to be discussed. What they do with it is often nothing, because they say we're protected by constitutional rights. Well, a constitution is constipated, old, and antiquated. I'm not a politician, but my goodness, do we use typewriters anymore? Manual typewriters? Click, click. Do we do that? No. Bring yourself current. Bring yourself current. I'm beginning to believe that we're becoming the mockery of other nations. There's so much internal tragedy here. We do it ourselves to each other. When you ghost a person, you just made them disappear. That's like a death of a person, per se. I know it's strong. I don't want to tie that to this, but I'm saying we do things that are that's coming from a traumatized place, an unfixed trauma, drama within. That's why you do it. Unfixed, unfathomable. Nonsensical. Gun control reform. Who's trying to take your rights away to bear arms? But reform it. Prison reform. Homelessness reform. There's a lot of reformation. That means you haven't done anything. You're in inertia. You're in inertia. There's not been any results produced by a simple thought. You're not taking action. And the numbers keep growing and growing and growing. It's disturbing. Joe Biden once said, the soul of America is sick. I totally agree. This is why you could do negative things to people. Hurt people, hurt people. Damage people, damage people. Sick people bring their sickness. It's a contagion. This is why you can do horrible things to someone you should be nice to, kind to. The person did nothing to you. To incur and inherit a scorn deposited upon you from someone else. This woman, and I have her name here, I'm not even going to say it. This woman, whatever her issue was that was unresolved, more than likely none of the ones who she killed today caused it. Certainly not children. Children do not have, at that age, do not have the capacity to do something so harmful to an adult that it can't be forgiven. Even if they spat on you, and this spitting is the worst thing ever, 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 in my opinion, ever that you can do. It's just, but even if a kid did that, you correct the kid and you're able to forgive it because you see it's a child. A few years ago, I saw a documentary about prison and prison reform and prisoners and the treatment of prisoners and what most prisoners are in their 4 categories. It was a good documentary. But one thing that I took away from that was I heard some of the so-called hardcore prisoners say that anyone who comes to prison who molested or hurt a child, they're worse than any other prisoner in there, and none of the prisoners like them. Now, if a prisoner is saying that, come on. We leave the innocence of children out of our quarrels and kibbles and bits, okay? It's unthinkable. I believe it was 1987, somewhere like that. I didn't know I was even going to mention it. I would have, I like to try to come ready. But a movie called Scarface, which was very popular, and you probably have seen it a million times like I did. There's a scene in the movie where the main character, Tony, had to go and, I think his name was Tony, I can't remember yet, Tony. He had a hit out for this politician. And when the politician came out to get his card, he was with his wife and kids, and he froze. Now this is a bad in Scarface. He froze. He said he could. He said, "You told me there'll be no wicked children. I can't do it." He turns around and shoots the other hitman in the head, because to him that was a low blow. You don't hurt women and children, certainly not children. And a woman will lay her life down for the sake of the children. 3 of them did today. So this kind of thing is senseless. It's heartless. It's unthinkable. And I just wanted to address that, even though it's not my typical upload. I'm so heartbroken. This whole past week has been letdown after letdown from a traumatized person, from a drama-filled person, from a person who's putting on you something you didn't even do. I've been seeing that this past week. I've been seeing that. And you could be kind and hopeful, generous and loving, reconciling, because you're here and that person's here in trauma. You're way out of, you don't have it. But the person will bring the trauma on you and throw it on you, just like she did. Now, no one at that school will ever forget this day, and it's not a good way. I can imagine what these families are going through right now. They'll never be the same. No, people say closure. No, I don't believe it. I personally don't believe in closure. I believe in you heal a little more every day along the way. But closure itself doesn't really occur, because anything can trigger back the memory of that pain. And people go, well, that means you're not fully healed. Whoever gets fully healed after losing a child or being involved in such gunfire? Whoever really gets truly healed from that? The soul of America is sick, and it's not America alone. I believe other nations look at us as if we're a mockery. We were the pristine. We were the model. We're not anymore. No, we're not. No, we're not. Wake up. And again, as I said, I do believe mental health exists. But don't try to tie it to every wrong deed done. For this woman to have 3 guns, 1 semi-automatic, she came ready for this. She came ready for this. How did she get so many weapons? How does anyone get so many weapons? It's almost as if we are in an internal warfare. We fight amongst each other. We don't reconcile with each other. We don't reunite with each other. We don't fix past hurts, because the drama and the trauma from the unfixed person will destroy you, just like it did. Just like it did. And so my heart goes out to this everyone who was involved with that to some degree or another, that is feeling the pain right now. My heart is just broken, like seriously broken. Like, this is unheard of. And again, it's not that women can't do it, but it's just unnatural for a woman to kill a child. It's just, anyway. So Get well. And let's all look at our actions and treatment. You meant to treat that person that way. Now, that I always say, before you do something so negativizing, so harsh, I'm tying this back to just general life, not to this incident here, because it's nonsense. It's nonsense. You're never going to put your head around. It's nonsense. It's unfathomable. So now let's move to everyday life, how we treat other people. Do not make someone else pay the price of your past issues from your quick decisions to hurt them because of that. That's in line with this kind of thing. Whatever caused her to go to this school, it was some issues that she had. And none of the people, I'm sure, that got the death bullet from her were the ones who did the deed to her. So the innocent die. And in everyday vernacular, the innocent are ruined by choices we make that they had nothing to do with. This is your own pain. This is your own trauma. This is your own drama. This is your own darkness. This is your own nonsense, toxicity, heartlessness, brutality, pain. If you make someone else pay for the pain someone else caused you, you're giving your death bullet to the wrong person. And they didn't deserve it. Go fix you. Seriously. Seriously. Get well. Get well. Get well. And find peace. Rise above yourself. Find peace. Namaste.